Welcome back to the third and final segment of this Tax Time show. In this episode, we're getting information and a lot of advice from Mr. Ajay Kumar of Sai CPA services regarding IRS notices, why one receives notice, what kind of notices are there, and what should you do in case if you receive any one of those notices. But now moving forward, let's just find out with the notices there is always a penalty, because IRS also makes money out of penalty and whatever other charges. So you know how to avoid, first of all my question is कि IRS notice को avoid करने के लिए तो आपने पहले बता दिया था दूसरे segment में, पर ये जो penalties है, they charge penalties, can you avoid them?
Well, penalties can be waived, and there are different type of penalties. Failure to file penalty, meaning you did not file the taxes on time before time. So late हो गया, late filing penalties is called failure to file penalties. Then you can have failure to pay penalties. आपने tax file तो किया है April 15 से पहले या इस केस में July 15 से पहले, पर proper taxes payment नहीं की है. Then you have estimated tax payment. So a lot of small businesses have to file estimated taxes, and these estimated tax payments needs to be made quarterly. The deadlines are April 15th, June 15th, October 15th, and January 15th. If you don't make these estimated tax payments every quarter, more than likely IRS will come back to you with a notice for not making the tax payment properly. There is an interest component with all these notices. Other than the penalty, there's an interest component to it. You always have to pay the taxes. You always have to pay the interest by law. A lot of times, if it's your first time, you can get away by getting the penalties waived. You can call the IRS directly on the number given on the notice, and in most cases they will waive the penalty for you.
Okay, that's good. That's what I want to know, the penalties can be waived.
They can.
Okay, and when do they charge penalty?
Well, whenever you file the taxes, and if the tax is filed late, then you will get a notice within 30 days, within 60 days, say you have failure to file penalty, late penalty. Depending on if you have a refund, then you don't have any failure to pay penalty. But if you owed money, then IRS wanted this money before time, then you have a failure to pay penalty. So typically the penalties are triggered by filing the taxes. Unless you don't file the tax at all, those penalties are pretty late. They will be, you will be getting the notice after a year or two that we did not receive your taxes.
Okay.
So those penalties are very late.
Okay, good to know. IRS scams, anything that you like to add on IRS scams?
Absolutely. A lot of people, when they get the notice, a lot of, as we mentioned in our first segment, they are getting the fake notices. So everybody is aware of these calls that people are calling. They are claiming to be IRS agent. They have your last 4 digits of the social security number, and they try to get their bank information. So this phone phishing, getting the scam calls got a lot of popularity. A lot of people are aware of it. Not everybody is sharing their information, confidential information willingly. So these scammers up their game. Now they are sending a notice that looks like IRS notice. As you will see on the screen over here, these notices seems to be coming from IRS. If you notice over here on the screen, the address is wrong. The IRS logo is incorrect here. The notice type is not there. The phone number that they are listing is not an IRS number. So the best part, they are asking you to make the payment to IRS. All IRS payments are made to US Treasury. So there are several hints over here. And if you read the last paragraph, if you don't agree with the changes, they're not asking you to send your response. They're not asking you to say why are you not agreeing. They're asking you to still pay the money first before you dispute the notice. All these are the giveaways. These things tells you that there is something wrong with this notice. So please be careful. When you have an IRS notice, read it carefully. Instead of calling that number, try to find the IRS number, and we are listing the IRS number on the screen, 1-800-829-1040. 1-800-829-1040. Please call the number directly, find the number through internet, call the number directly, and find out if there is any notice against your name, against your social security number.
Very well said, Ajay ji. You know, one thing I really noticed, IRS, you say logo is wrong.
Right.
But if you look at the logo at the first glance, you really believe it's IRS
Yeah, it
logo.
looks very similar.
It looks so similar.
Absolutely.
Okay, quickly, can we touch on FBAR issue while we are talking about this matter, because FBAR is one of the most relevant topics to our viewers.
And a lot of people get the notice for the FBAR. We have a lot of viewers from India. So if you have more than $10,000 in all the foreign accounts combined together, you must file the FBAR. If you had more than $200,000 in the fixed asset, you have the 8938 exposure, FATCA exposure. So a lot of people in these days, all these banks are connected. This HDFC Bank, the ICICI Bank, and all that information is being reported by the bank, by these Indian banks to the IRS directly. So a lot more people are getting the FBAR notices. Please understand there is no tax liability for filing the FBAR, FATCA 8938. So please consider filing the FBAR if you have the exposure.
Correct. Okay. Quickly, maybe we have a room for one or two emails, and viewers been sending emails, and it's really, really interesting. Thank you. Once again, our email ID is texttime@tvasiausa.com. Quickly, one of the viewers sent an email. I have a real estate company but have no payroll. Can I still get the loan?
Absolutely. The misconception over here, the reason we are getting a lot of questions around the real estate companies, the real estate company did not qualify for the PPP loan, but they do qualify for EIDL loan, Economic Injury Disaster Loan. We have till December 31st to apply for this loan. So if you have a real estate company, if you have an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, proprietorship, partnership, any sort of company, you opened the company last year, you opened the company earlier this year before February 15th, you have rental income, your tenant is not paying, any situation you have, please consider applying for EIDL loan.
Very good. Okay. Second question that we have from one of our viewers, as we don't mention names, thank you for watching the show and everything. They want to know when is the PPP's second funding coming?
Well, it's not out yet. PPP second funding was included in the HEROES Act. Now they are trying to approve the HEROES Act in pieces. A couple of weeks ago, PPP Flexibility Plan was approved, which was originally part of the HEROES Act. So there is no news as such when is it coming, but it was included in the HEROES Act. It was part of the plan at one point of time.
Okay, so maybe one of these days, or maybe in the near future, or sometime in about a couple of months, it will get passed and it will be approved. Listen, it's an election year.
Absolutely.
Okay, election right now as we speak is what, about less than 4 months away now, about 4 months away. So let's see what happens. Mr. Ajay Kumar, thank you so very much.
It's my pleasure.
For guiding us, for informing us, and for advising us when it comes to taxes. We really appreciate it. On behalf of viewers who actually send out a lot of emails and messages, texttime@tvasiausa.com, Mr. Ajay Kumar personally reaches out to them. So all in all, thank you. And viewers, thank you so much for watching the show. I am Sanjeev Pandya, and until we meet again next week, do take care of yourself and do your taxes right. And so long.